anybody who is watching this video. My name is Olenjolai TAYAI Losingo from beautiful, fantastic country, United Republic of Tanzania, and I would like to welcome you onto this beautiful country. I'm very happy to welcome you onto our online programs at called the Online Diploma Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania. So this is an online institution, it's not a physical institution, where we train students and you have a particular vision in our mind that you like just to practice for the rest of our life in order to make sure that we change the life of people, because we are being changed and then we want to change others. So before even I give you the detailed introductions or brief introductions concerning about what I've written on the blackboard, before I take you on to our today's session or on to our today's lecture, I would like just to spend a few minutes to remind you the visions of these online institutions, because it's very important for you at the part of these institutions, or even if that you're not a part of this institution, to know where are we going, to know our directions, because visions is the big picture that God has revealed in my mind concerning about these programs. And then it has been a programs of more than a year before I record this video of today. So it has been clicking in my mind, it has been processed in my mind, and I thank God who has been faithful on this program. So this the vision. What visions is my mind, in my mind? I would like to be a part, because why am I saying that a part? Because you know that I've been given a small portion of the brain of mathematics or engineering or science. So I've been given a small portion of brain. So another portion of the brain has been given by to other teachers. So I'd like to be a part of teachers who are ready to prepare and incubate some ordinary diploma students, right, from first year to the third year, who will be ready to combine the engineering concepts or engineering knowledge or scientific scientific knowledge plus mathematics knowledge plus the knowledge of the Word of God in order to solve real-life problems. Our main objective in this online Diploma Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania is to see our continuing, means that yes, our continuing ordinary diploma students and even our graduating ordinary diploma students solves real-life problem. Whether a single problem or two problems or three, regardless of the number. But our intentions, we want to see that they are going back to their community, regardless of what the size of the problem, but they are solving at least even a small problems in the real life, or it means that in their community. That will be our rejoice, and that will be our fruits for this program. So we'll be teaching you. So I know that what I'm saying and what I'm presenting to you is it's something which sometimes that it may seem like impossible. Even myself, that when I got that mind and I received that vision from God, I thought it's impossible. But after practicing, and even because I've been training students, ordinary diploma students, for almost more than 5 years, so I saw, it means that I realized about the fruits. I realized what I've been thinking and what I've been planting as a seed into the minds of the students. Okay, so that is our main vision in this program. So regardless of how many lectures are you going to watch and how many modules are you going to learn, but remember that the visions, and even if that you want to pray for this program, my dear student or my dear viewer, please concentrate on that visions, because that's what I've been given from the God who lives forever, and the one who is guiding these programs and the owner of these programs. And everything that I've been doing for His own glory. And this is another thing that I would like to remind you. Well, I'll be teaching you basic engineering and scientific mathematics. Okay, but remember that Olenjolai does not know everything concerning basic engineering and scientific mathematics. I don't know everything. I know a small portion of it, of the entire braid of basic engineering and scientific mathematics, but I'm always ready to teach what I know to anybody who needs it. So that's all. So that is who I am. Okay, so again, I'd like to spend a few minutes to introduce you. We have our YouTube channels that called the Online Diploma Poly Institute of Tanzania, in square bracket Olenjolai. Again, that in case you want to know too much details concerning about the visions of the institution, our YouTube channels, what are we going to do, and how can you get connected on it, and hence, and a lot of things that you can get from there. I mean that you have to make sure that you watch, just to go in our YouTube channels, just to search online Diploma Polyinstitute of Tanzania in square bracket Olenjolai, and then watch session or lecture 00 that it has been written, the general introductions of basic engineering and scientific mathematics for ordinary diploma, NTA level 4 to NTA level 6. So make sure to watch it to get too much detail. But with this online, with our YouTube channels, you can, it means that we remind you to follow some procedures, and remember to subscribe for you to get notifications once you upload any video. But also we have a department that's called the Basic Engineering and Scientific Mathematics. Where is that department? So in these departments we'll be teaching you 6 courses or 6 modules that will be covered 6 semesters of NTA level 4, NTA level 5, and NTA level 6. So 2 modules will be NTA level 4, and 2 modules will be NTA level 5, and 2 modules will be for NTA level 6. So if you don't understand what the meanings of NTA it is National Technical Award level 5. So it means that this first year we'll be teaching you 2 modules for the first year, ordinary diploma in engineering and scientific courses. We'll be teaching 2 modules for the second year. We'll be teaching 2 modules for the third year. So that's what you have to expect in this platform. And we are going to have more than hundreds videos, and then we'll add them online into our YouTube channel at Online Diploma Polyinstitute of Tanzania. So that we ask you to subscribe so you get notifications once we upload a new video. Well, so regardless of the name of the modules or course in your institution, what are we going to focus, because we want this material to be universal, or we want to be nationalized. It means that nationwide. It means that any student in any ordinary diploma institutions who is pursuing science or scientific courses or engineering courses, this material might be relevant to them. However, that the reference syllabus of Nacte, because everything here we are going to do according to the Nacte. Okay, Nacte. So remember that we have Nacte. Okay, so Nacte according to the Nacte. So everything concerned about Nacte, or we'll be using the syllabus of Nacte, we'll be using the Dar es Salaam Institute of Technology as the reference institution for the OT for the syllabus. So focus on the content. So even later, once I just write the main topic, because this module consists of the main topics. So in next lecture, for example, in lecture 2, I'll be writing just the next topic. Another point that I want to make is the topic of fundamental rule of countings, matrices, and differentiation is a cross-cutting. These are the 3 cross-cutting topics, which are even the Form 6 students or the A-level students who are in Forms. This is the Form 5 topic, this is the Form 5 topic, this is the Form 6, part of the Form 6 topic. So matrices is a part of the Form 5 topic, differentiation is the entire topic with the 9th topic for the Form 5. So you might find that sometimes that I will be using different ways of approach, but I will make sure that I use the reference material. Make sure that right now you take your scientific calculator, as we say that we need serious students. You take some of your past papers, okay, you take some of their past papers, okay, in hands to you, so you might know that how questions are being asked. So you have to make sure that you should have your pen, you should have your pencil, okay, you should have your exercise book. These are the some of the past papers. Okay, these are the some of the tests. So you have to make sure that you have them in your hand, so that you may go. So we may cover this stuff together in a smooth way. Well, so now let us go into the session of today. So the general means that in the session, this is session 1, the first session, or session 1 or lecture 1, the general introductions of factorial function. So let me begin with the general introduction, right? The general introduction, okay? General introduction. So general introduction of this module. So you say that this module comprises, make sure that you have prospectus of your institution, comprises, you should have your the course outline, as the course outlines from your teacher, and you have to make sure that you attend other sessions or physical sessions at your institution. So the module comprises three main topics. Okay? These three main topics are, the first one is called the fundamental fundamental rule of counting. Fundamental rule of counting. This is the first main topic, fundamental rule of counting. Okay, fundamental rule of 40, fundamental rule of counting. The second main topic is called the matrices. Say matrices. This is interesting because you are familiar with matrices. When you are in O level, we used to teach you matrices during your Form 4. And then another main topic is called the differentiation. So for instance, for the Dar es Salaam Institute of Technology, these two topics are contributing test 1, and the differentiation itself contributing test 2. So don't get confused whether that maybe in the institutions the modules is not called like this one. The issue is, one thing which I advise you, focus on the contents of fundamental of rule of counting, fundamental rule of counting, okay, fundamental rule of counting, and then focus on the contents. Yes, it is called the fundamental rule of counting. Okay, fundamental matrices, focus on matrices that I will be teaching you, focus on differentiation. So then, let us come to the general introductions of factorial function. Before we define that, we say that fundamental rule of counting. Fundamental rule of counting. Okay. So you say that the general introduction now. So you say that the main topic, we'll be focusing on this one. The main topic of fundamental rule of counting. Okay, the main topic of fundamental rule of counting consisting 6 subtopics. 6 subtopics. Okay, as follows. The first subtopic is called the factorial. It's called the factorial function or factorial notation, whatever, but it's factorial function. The second subtopic of fundamental rule of counting is called the permutation. Say permutation. It might be new technologies for you, but don't worry, we'll be together. Okay, I'll be taking you step to step from your concepts or from your knowledge of O level. I know that some of the diploma students they have pursued advanced education before ordinary diploma, and hence they decided to go take a route of ordinary diploma. So don't get discouraged. This material also are very important for you. So combination, and the first subtopic is called the Pascal triangle. Okay, Pascal triangle. So for instance, the factorial function, permutation, combination, these are just introductions, concepts of probability for advanced mathematics. And I will also teach in another school that called the Tanzania Online Advanced Secondary Education. Okay, the fifth system topic is called the binomial theorem. Okay, binomial theorem. This is all about Newtonian, okay, theorem or binomial expansion. Okay, so and then the last one, this one I'm going to teach about binomial series. Say binomial series. So these are the 6 subtopics that we are going to cover in fundamental rule of counting, right? So get prepared to love engineering, basic engineering and the basic engineering and scientific mathematics, and also get prepared to love principle of counting, because I will be doing many examples as well as possible, and I'll be using the simple language to make sure that all my students, slow learner students, intermediate learner students, and even faster learner students, they grasp the concept that they should make sure that they have in order to apply, as these are one of the fundamental course or modules in engineering and science courses. So now let us begin with the first subtopic, and this is just, you can call it 1.1. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you the topic that's called the factorial function. Factorial function. Factorial function. Factorial function. So you have a question, very important question. This is a basic question once I teach you. What is factorial function? Before we calculate, before we use scientific calculator, before maybe we have been given, we are solving problems, first of all, we are the mathematicians, or we are the lovers of mathematicians, or we are the engineers. We have to ask yourself what the meaning of the term first, right? Because that's how you enjoy the beauty of mathematics. What is factorial function? However, that mathematics, remember mathematics, the language, okay? Factorial function. I found 2 definitions. Let me share with you and let me present to you. The first one, I found it in a dictionary, and then the definitions of factorial function may be defined like this one. In mathematics, the product, okay, the product of all positive integers, of all positive integers, all positive integers less than or equal to a given positive. To a given positive, okay? To a given positive integer, okay? Integer, and denoted by that integer. Okay, by that integer and an exclamation point. And an exclamation point. And an exclamation point. So this is according to Britain dictionary. So this is according to, if you refer Britain dictionary. So factorial function. Say factorial function. Say factorial function. Say factorial function. You love factorial function? Tell me in the comment section. Make sure to ask you any questions in the comment sections. Use it effectively and submit the homework. In mathematics, the product So this is a very important keyword. The product of all positive integers. The products of all positive integers less than, okay, less than, products of all positive integers, products of all positive integers less than or equal, so this is less than or equal to what? To a given positive integer and denoted by the integer and an exclamation point. That's the meanings of factorial. So in mathematics, factorial is the product of all positive integers less than or equal to a given positive integer, less than or equal to a given positive integers, right? Integer, and donated by the integer itself, right? And an exclamation point. What does it mean? So in mathematics, the products of all positive integers. First of all, we should have a product between positive integers. So positive integers, for instance. So this we should make sure that we multiply them. Positive integer, there is another positive integer, there is another positive integers, less than or equal to the given positive integer. Okay, I will give you the formula. And donated by the integer. So okay, so it means that the way we donate this factorial function, we have an integer and hence you have exclamation mark. Okay, I present to you those pieces of information. Okay. Okay, so then we have again another definition, or we say that, or in mathematics, the factorial function, factorial function of a non-negative integer, factorial function of a non-negative integer, means that the integer should be positive, and negative integer n, okay, n, denoted by n factorial. Okay, n factorial is the product of all all positive integers. All positive integers. All positive integers less than or equal to n. Less than or equal. Less than or equal to n. This is according to Wikipedia. Okay? I'd like to welcome you onto the second year of ordinary diploma. So let me clarify now these two definitions. So mathematics, the factorial function of non-negative integer. First of all, the condition, the integer should be non-negative. For instance, n. So we donate by n. Donated by n, so it means that donated by the integer and the exclamation point. Is the product of all. So this is the keyword. So is the product of all positive integers less than or equal to n. Less than or equal to n. What does it mean? When we begin with that, it means that we say that simply factorial function is a product of all positive integers less than or equal to that integer. So for instance, that we have integer a certain integer, right? So this one, if we say that we want to donate first in terms of factorial, we say that integer factorial, this will be equal to what? The greater integer, 10. So mean that I'm still giving the general concepts before even we come. So I want to explain these two definitions. Listen, mean that the way that we notate this is a positive integer, right? Positive integer. So we use exclamation mark to notate this factorial. So what happens? So it means that we have, let's say, suppose that integer it is r. So we have the first integer. Then we multiply with the second integer, but this second integer now, we reduce it by 1. And then we multiply by the integer, the given integer minus 2, reduced by 2. Then we take the given integer minus 3. So we do that until we find that we get the integer minus integer, right? So integer minus integer, and then we get what? So this dash factorial, which will be integer minus integer, it will be 0 factorial, which is equal to what? To 1. So that's the meaning. So when I stand for what? For integer. So you say that it's a product of all positive integers. This is an integer, 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 but this is the integer less than this integer, and this is the integer less than this integer, and this is the integer less than this one, and even all the rest integers are less than the previous one, and even the last integer will be the smallest integer. Okay? So that's the meaning of 40 of factorial function. So, if that's the case now, we have some constant, okay? So we have to inform you, okay? So you say that mathematically, before even we write the formula, okay? So that mathematically, the factorial function is denoted as this. So we say that the factorial function, the notation, factorial function is equal to integer factorial. Positive integer, so it's equal to positive integer. Factorial function is equal to positive integer. Positive integer, positive integer, positive integer, positive integer factorial with exclamation mark. So this is how we notate the factorial function. Okay, so you have positive integer and then you have exclamation mark. So you have some constants of factorial function. So constants of factorial function are these. 0 factorial is always equal to 1. And the second constant, 1 factorial, is always equal to 1. So bear them in our mind. So if now we continue with the definition that we say, or we say that according to the definition, we say that, for instance, we'll be given 2 as integer, 2 factorial. This 2 factorial is equal to what? 2 times what? Times 2 reduced by 1, right? Times what? 2 minus the given integer, which is 2. Then you have what? Factorial. So then this is equal to what? 2 minus 1 is what? 1 times what? 0 factorial. 0 factorial is equal to what? 1. So the answer of 2 factorial is 2. Okay? So we are reducing the general formula of factorial function, which has already been discussed even in the definition. Again, if we insist you to read the descriptions of each video, and very important information, you get the links for our other official YouTube channels and even for our other official schools and institutions. So we have 4 schools, and then we have other 4 schools, and we have also one institution. So you have to make sure that you go through the descriptions. Also in descriptions, we invite you, in case you feel from your heart that you want to offer God your thanksgiving offering for this program. So your thanksgiving offering will be accepted with thanks. Okay? Then for instance, we'll be given 3 at our intake, right? According to the principle, we say that we take 3, then we take 3 minus 1, we multiply by what? 3 minus 2, we multiply by what? 3 minus 3, and then factorial. So we have what? 3 factorial. So 3 factorial, we have 3 times what? 3 minus 1, it is 2. Then 3 minus 2, it is 1. Then 3 minus 3, it is 0 factorial. So then we say what is 3 factorial. 3 factorial, 3 times 2 times 1, 0 factorial, it is 1. So this is equal to 6. Right? So that is. So you can continuous, so it means that in this process will go over and over. For instance, that we have 4 factorial. So 4 factorial, in simple, this is equal to 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 times 0 factorial. So 4 times 3 it is 12, times 2 it is 24. So the answer is equal to 24. So now we can have the general formula of factorial function. So we say that the general formula of factorial function is given as this, that n factorial, this is equal to n times n minus 1 times, so you can put even times, or you leave the bracket, n minus 2 times n minus 3 times n minus 4 times n minus 5 times n minus 6 times n minus 7 times n minus 8 times n minus 9 times n minus, okay, n minus, let's say that dash dash dash, so you continue until the last term will be n minus n, which is 0 factorial. So this is the general formula of factorial function. You have to keep in your mind, and yes, you have to keep in your mind, because you will need this concept even in advanced calculus, which is the module of the first year or in the second semester. So remember, you are the diploma students or undergraduate students who are going through these contents or this material. Keep them for the rest of your life, because you need them in the future. So once you are done with your ordinary diploma of CNTA level 5 or maybe with Form 6, don't throw this material away. Don't delete the concepts of factorial, because you are going to, you need it in learning beta and gamma function, which is very interesting topics, or special calculus we call them, indefinite calculus. So that's the general formula of factorial function. Okay, so factorial function, another thing that you have to note in your mind is this. So let me have in because you know now the name of the module and not the main topic, so just have more space. So not this point. You say that factorial function is a very important, this is very important concept. Okay, very important concept, or it's very important concept, it's a very important or fundamental fundamental concept, okay, to learn the following subtopics. So before you learn permutation, you have to understand first the factorial. The following subtopics of rule of counting. Rule of counting. So this concept we'll need it when we'll be learning about permutation, which I didn't teach you yet. I'll teach you in the next lectures. Permutation, permutation. So permutation. Okay, permutation. Then so you need the concepts of factorial when I'll be teaching about combination. Okay, it doesn't mean that PCB, PCM, no. And also you need this concept when I'll be teaching about binomial theorem. So when we teach about binomial theorem, we need that concept of factorial. Okay, and also this will be prerequisite to understand the concept of binomial series. Okay. In addition, just this for addition, this also is a very important concept. In addition, means that factorial function, this is very important for beta. Don't worry about this one. This is for gamma, and what? And beta, m, n function. Don't worry. This is for what? Undergraduate or bachelor level. Bachelor level in calculus, you need the concepts of what? Of the concepts of factorial to cover those stuff. So don't need this stuff of factorial for the rest of your life. Okay? So believe that you're enjoying the beauty of what? Of mathematics. So that's why that we have to teach you about the concepts of factorial, because it is a prerequisite in different concepts. Well, so now I've been introducing to you. So now you know what the means of factorial function. Another concept that which I will teach you soon. I will teach you how you can use your scientific calculator, which you have it, or in case that you don't have it, you can go to the descriptions and see that how much does it cost you, because you have various types of original scientific calculator, and we can ship in any regions of United Republic of Tanzania. So don't hesitate to do that. So then now let us begin with example 1. Okay? Let us begin with example 1. And this example 1 refer the IT tutorial sheet. I don't remember of which year. Okay? So this is just like a differential. And the question, just a reference. Evaluate the following. So you have to try on doing the handwrites. So number Roman 1, 5 factorial. Roman 2, 8 factorial times what? 8 factorial plus 12 factorial. And then Roman 3, we have 18 factorial times 60 factorial times 60 factorial divided by 18 factorial. Roman 4, we have what? We have 14 factorial. 14 factorial, 8 factorial square. 8 factorial square. And 13. Okay, and hence the fifth example is 8 factorial over 5 factorial and 3 factorial minus 6 factorial, 3 factorial, 4 factorial. So this one, let be your homework. Okay, let me your homework. Very simple homework. So let me do the rest. so that you understand how do you work with the concepts of working. Because after this, I will teach you how you can use the scientific calculator, and afterwards, if time will allow us, I will teach you on how you can simplify the expressions, the mathematical expressions, by using the concept of factorial. So solution of example 1. Okay? So evaluate 5 factorial. So that's very simple. 5 factorial. So you say that to evaluate it, you have to recall the formula, the general formula. N factorial is equal to n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 times n minus 3 times n minus 4, and then n minus the last integer, which is 5, then factorial. So then simply we say that 5 factorial is equal to 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 times 0 factorial. So 5 times 4 is 20. 20 times 3 is 60. 60 times 2 is 120. Or simply this is 60. 6 times 5 it is 30. And then times 4 it is 120. So simply 5 factorial is equal to 120. Very simple. Roman 2. You have 8 factorial plus 12 factorial. Okay? So 8 factorial plus 12 factorial. How do we solve it? What is 8 factorial? So for this case, you can use this alternative. You can look for 8 factorial, which is 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Because 0 factorial is 1. And hence therefore you have 12 factorial. So 12 is 12 times 11. Then times what? Times 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 times 0 factorial. So then we say that we have 8 factorial plus what? 12 factorial. So this will be equal to what? Response that you get at this point plus response that you get at this point. So you're allowed to use your scientific calculator to do that multiplication. Okay? So to do this multiplication, you just take 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Okay? So that's how you do it. And then, so for instance, if you use a scientific calculator, this part will give you 40,320. And then for this one, it will give you, that is 12 factorial, it will give you a little bit large number. Okay, so almost 479,000. Zero, 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 1600. So to add it, we have to take 40, 320 plus 479 million and 16,000. So 479,1,600. So it means that once we add it, we have 8 factorial plus 3 factorial. Okay? Response is almost equal to the large value of factorial, which is 47,900. 0, 41, 9, 20. Nine points. So this is at 20. 10, 9, 20. Okay. So then now we still have which example? Still have example 3 and example 4, right? Which will make us to enjoy the concept of factorial. So solution for Roman 3, for example 1, Roman 3, will be given 18 factorial, and then we have in denominator we have 5 factorial, and then we have 43 factorial. So this is equal to what? 18 factorial, we simplify first. This is 18, we have numerator and denominator, so we simplify numerator first. 17 times 16 times 15 times times 14 times 13 times 12 times 11 times 9 times 9, okay, times 8 times 7 times 5 factorial, so 5 factorial, so 5 factorial, okay, and hence in denominator we have 5 factorial, then we have 3 factorial, so this one and this one will cancel. So therefore we say that 18 factorial divided by 3 factorial and 5 factorial, this is equal to what? That is equal to that product. So we have 18 factorial, which is 18 times those stuff, divided by 5, and also divided by 3. So the answer is 8.89, 8.92 exponent 12. So this is the response for Roman. Let us finish this Roman 4. Roman 4 will be given 14 factorial. And hence will be given what? 8 factorial. And this one square. Then you have what? You have 13. Okay, as a constant number. So this one, if you expand, is 14 factorial. Then you have 8 factorial times 8 factorial, then times 13. So in this case, we might say that we have 14 times 13 times 12 times 11 times 10 times 9 times 8 factorial divided by 8 factorial. If you'll be given a rational factorial function, then you have to simplify as well as you can. So for instance, 188 factorial will cancel. So it means that now therefore 14 factorial, this is 8 factorial square times 13. Okay? So we say that there we have 14, shift 14 square, then over 13. So the answer is 4,125. 4,125. So that's the end of Roman 4. So you have to make sure that you do this question, you do the part 5. So this is homework 1. So do the example 1, part 5. Very simple questions because we just expand the given factorial function according to the formula, right? So then now I would like just to take you on to a very interesting example. So we can have the same examples, but we can change the methodology of just finding. Okay, so I have to teach you first the concept. So you see that according to the principle of factorial function, once an integer became larger and larger, so you find that it's, first of all, it's going to result in a large number, so it means that you have to be patient on solving it, but they are very interesting problems. Okay, so again, now we have another concept that we call the finding how can you use it as scientific finding factorial function. Factorial function by using scientific calculator. I want to teach you because I told you scientific calculator is very important. We'd like to show you some of the importance. Finding factorial function by using scientific calculator. This is the our recommended scientific calculator that we do recommend for the students to have. In case that you lost it, make sure that you get it from your brothers. Okay? Or make sure that you go to the descriptions of this video so you can see the cost and you can order it and you can ship it for you. So finding factorial function. Finding factorial function by using scientific calculator. Very simple steps. Very simple steps. Steps. The first step, turn on calculator. Because sometimes if we don't tell students to turn on, they can try these steps while the scientific calculator is off. After turn on the calculator, we've turned on the calculator, then we insert the number. We take the number, insert a positive integer. Insert the positive integer in the scientific calculator. At the second step. The first step, as we say, turn on the scientific calculator to show 0. on your right hand side, and then you say that insert the number. So for instance, that I want to find the factorial value or the factorial functions of 8. So this is, we've already inserted the number. So the next state now, press Shift key, then the Shift key, then followed by pressing the button of factorial function. There's one button that has factorial function. And this button is this. Excuse me. So this is the button that you have to press. Okay. So you say that at the top we have x equal -1 at the top. Then above it we have x factorial. This is factorial function. And then beside it we have logic. So these are symbol or buttons is very important. So press the buttons of the function, of the factorial function, which is this one. So the factorial function is x factorial. Again, afterward, we said that the first state, press equal sign. Okay, press equal sign. So let us give you, it means that this is press X bar, very important. This is a very efficient way of finding the factorial function of the number. So let us go to example 2, which would be the simplest one. By using scientific calculator, I use a scientific calculator, compute this, right? Compute this. 1, 8 factorial, 5 factorial, power 3. Okay? And then she said that here you have 7. Then you have Roman 3 or Roman 2. 9 factorial, 3 factorial over 4 factorial. 4 factorial square. Then have Roman 3. Okay, we have Roman 3, 14 factorial, factorial, then you have 11 factorial, then you have 2 factorial. So let us leave this, the second one. This will be your homework 1, because this is lecture 1. So use the scientific calculator to compute those functions. Solution. So solution, we say that in Roman 1, you have 8 factorial. You have 8 factorial. So how do we use this scientific calculator to find 8 factorial? Well, as I said, that inside the integer. The integer is what? 8. Then press shift and then press the x power -1. So then now you see that number 8, it's already in the scientific calculator. So if you press the equal sign, we get this one, 4,320. 4,320. Then you have 5 factorial. 5 factorial. 5 factorial. So simply it means that you just press what the number there in the square. It is what? It is 5. So 5 shift this one, right? Then we get response. Then we say power 3. Power 3, 10 times 7. 5 shift 1 point. Okay, so we have numerator, denominator now. Then we take 8, shift pi over the answer, 10/7. So we say that 5 shift factorial over 3. So it is 1,728,000. Okay. So then we have what? 77, where it is. So we say that 1 factorial or 8 factorial, 5 factorial cubic times 7. So this one we multiply by 7. And then we have 8 shift factorial. And this will make 8.4, 8.4.8, 77 exponent 11. So you see that how quickly you can solve this problem by scientific calculator. So for Roman 2, it is a homework. Roman 3, you are allowed to simplify the case. You are allowed just to use a scientific calculator, which will give you the results quickly as possible. Okay? So you have what, 14 factorial, 14 factorial. So we'll get it. In the denominator we have 11 factorial over 22. So it's possible that we say here we have what, 11, then we have 22 factorial. Okay? So you can reduce either numerator or numerator. Okay? So you have 22 in denominator, we have 14 numerator, we have 11 numerator. So with this case, we say that we have several alternatives on solving it, right? Several alternatives on solving it. The first alternative, we say that the simplest one. We just take 14 factorial, okay? So 14 factorial. We get its value, it is almost 8.71, 7 or 8, exponent 10. Then you have 11 factorial. We just insert into the scientific calculator. I follow just a step. The 9, 9, 16, 8, then 22. One point 1.12, 1.124, that's 21. So simply say that this is 14 factorial over 11 factorial times 22 factorial. So 14 factorial is 8.7, or you can just take the scientific calculator, so you have 22 factorial, you multiply by 11 factorial, we begin with the denominator, and then so we take 14 shift factorial over the answer. So therefore the answer is 1.94. This is almost, I'm about to finish this session. Actually negative 18. So this is the response. They seem like they are very large numbers. But don't worry, in mathematics we are allowed to solve problems by using the large value of numbers. So at this moment, make sure that you do this homework. Example 2, Roman 2. At this moment, this is the end of lecture 1, or session 1, as general introductions of factorial functions. So join me in the next lecture or session, that will be session 2, when I'll be now helping you to solve many questions about factorial function. So I would like to thank God who have been with me during the preparation moment and even at this time when I've been teaching. I thank God who have given you opportunity to be with me and even to join me. I believe that you are enjoying this stuff effectively, and this is just still an introduction. So you'll see how the business is going through. So may God bless you, and I'd like to invite you to meet me in the sessions or lecture 2 of this stuff. Fundamental rule of counting and matrices, and matrices and differentiation. So I'd like to invite you into the next sessions of factorial functions, which actually that I will be teaching you how to deal with technical questions of factorial function. So make sure that you join me so that you'll keep on enjoying this stuff. So I would like to insist you remember to subscribe on your right hand side of this video. Remember also to send your Thanksgiving offering in order to be a part of the running cost for this program. And also you have to remember to read the descriptions to get too much details, and remember to share these contents with your colleagues. So see you in the next session and next lecture. May God bless you and keep you for the rest of your life.